Hello, hello. Welcome back. It's your boy. I don't know if the music is playing or if you can hear the podcast. A lot of y'all heard it, but if you didn't,
Don't know the tribe or default. By default, she don't think of me. I thought she wasn't in the end.
stop the tunes. Good fucking morning, afternoon, evening, my people. What's popping? It's your boy Ray Cruz. You already know what's popping. Us, never them. You already know the vibes. Back to it with another segment of my untitled opinions and my Who Asked You. Because generally, who asked you, right? You gotta understand the Who Asked You is an informational platform just so we can go through the media and the news so we can see who asked you to give us that info or who asked you to post that pic, who asked you to do that. You understand? Et cetera, et cetera. All right. As we've done numerous times before, my people, I've put up the pages that we're gonna be overviewing. Right now, it ain't the segment yet for the Who Asked You, so we're doing the Untitled Opinion. So I'll go through the days of my days and my life stories and stuff like that, and I'll come up with the topics of Untitled Opinions, and I'll go through it. See if I can turn this TV down a little bit. Yeah, I can hear it. You know, my Untitled Opinion. All right, so let's start it off. Where should we go? How should we start this off? I have an untitled opinion. You know, my untitled. I may have said this before, but not everything, or the fact that a lot of people are doing, certain stuff for the money leads to a lot of failure. You know what I mean? Of course, we do a lot of things for the money, but if your main intention is just money, like just money, 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 that part of your life or will never feel fulfilled because a lot of times I believe this is my entitled opinion. I believe a lot of people don't even know what money is. They just see the bills or they just see the dollars and they're like, oh yeah, I need money. But a lot of us have grown up not knowing what money is. You know what I mean? A lot of us have grown up or have gone through our years, 20s, 30s, and never even seen 20, 30K or never was able to spend 20, 30K by yourself. You know what I mean? And I say that because I believe a lot of people miss that point in life because that point of life educates you. Let me educates you and then teaches you discipline. Once you've come from a family of money or once you've had money, getting it again disciplines you on how to spend it, how to go about it, and how to keep it. Understand what I'm saying? A lot of people are just like, yeah, I need to get money, I get money to get money, get money. They'll get the money, they'll blow it and be back like, oh my God, nah, I need more money, more money. But when you think about it, it's not the money they're chasing. They're chasing a fulfillment that can never be fulfilled, regardless of how much money they get. Because in the honest truth, you can give some of these people 100,000 and they'll blow that 100,000. You might get a few that'll know how to flip it and keep it coming back, but more than likely, if you've never seen money before, never had money, then you won't know how to save and spend it. You're gonna spend frivolously, and that's okay because you're human. You don't know better. You live and you learn. That's just my entitled opinion. right? You live and you learn, and that's what makes you grow as an adult, as a responsible adult. 'Cause everybody can be an adult, but you may not be a responsible adult. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, my entitled opinion, when you get money, understand that there comes discipline with this money. You may have gotten some money, but trust and believe, if you've never seen 20, 30,000 and you never spent 20, 30,000, the first time you get that shit, you're gonna blow it. And it's okay that you blew it because you probably never had shit before. So you're gonna blow that money because you wanna feel good. And that's my entitled opinion what people do. Some smart people that know how to spend money, they'll go and save and invest because they've had money before. They've had these things, these nice things that you've never had before. And I can understand that. You know what I mean? Moving forward, you know, be smart with your money. You know, always be smart with money. Understand that, you know, some money you're gonna get and it's gonna go. Like I always tell people, fast money is good, but it comes and goes real fast. If you out there just chasing the fast dollar, the faster you get it, the faster it goes outside. All right, or the faster you spending it. It's my entitled opinion. You're getting a 90K check fast. How many times quick can you get that 90K check? You know, like, do you want to be constantly chasing that? Like, is that really what we do? Of course, some of us obviously go out there and chase those $90,000 checks, but they're not just chasing 90,000. They're chasing checks, period, in general. Like, they need these checks in order to get through. You know what I mean? So a lot of people see people chasing checks. They're like, oh man, they're chasing the money. No, they're chasing more of it. They don't. They could chase just a certain amount and be stagnant at it, but they don't want to. They want more money, and more money, and with more money comes more sacrifice. You have to understand that. With more money, or the more money you make, the more you have to sacrifice for that money you're making. A lot of people don't see that. A lot of people think that oh, they can get this money and now they got money and shit, nothing come in. With all that money you think you want to get comes a lot of stress, bullshit, you know, a lot of people with their hands out, a lot of taxes, you know. But that's what happens. I'm getting a call right now from New York. I don't know who it is. That person could leave a message. But anyways, continuing on my untitled opinion. You know. I saw something where, you know, I didn't see something. Let me start that over. I watched a movie last night. I watched a few movies last night, and I was like, I saw that Deadpool movie, that Deadpool and Wolverine movie. That was a phenomenal movie. Now that by far was a good movie. I haven't seen a good movie in so long, not in so long, but I haven't. They don't make a lot of good movies anymore. They just copy and paste and shit, and that sucks. But Deadpool and Wolverine was a phenomenal movie. I think they put a lot of characters in there. It was great. We got to see a lot of characters in there, a lot of those Marvel characters, and that was great. I think everyone's gonna be shocked and happy to see what that shit brings out when they go and see it in the theater. Good, great movie. You know what? Movie I also watched. I watched that Planet of the Apes movie. You know that Caesar movie? It was like the third installment of it. Shit was trash. The first one, Planet of the Apes, maybe the second one was good, but this third one made it look like all the cities and shit we built before just disappeared or some shit like that. Like Thanos disappeared it, and all the apes just turned everything into a jungle, which was stupid. And after a while of watching some of these movies, you get the real, me personally, my entire opinion, I feel as though I'm just watching a computer or I'm watching a video game. I'm not even watching anything real anymore. Not to say I don't have an imagination. I definitely have an imagination, but man, you can literally tell this is not real or this is very computer aided, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that. But what I am saying is that movie was not worth seeing. I wasted a lot of time. Most of the times I watch movies and look at the time, don't even realize what the fuck time it is, and it's like 3, 4 in the morning. I'm watching the movie. You know, I have some other entitled opinions. You know what's crazy? I watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies, but I don't really like them. I think there's only like about 2 Tyler Perry movies or 3 that I really like. I never really liked Medea either. That's my entitled opinion. I think the whole Medea character is just annoying and to me too criticizing. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that. But again, that's just my entitled opinion. It's a remarkable show. Obviously, it stays on TV and people love it. It's made movies. People love the concept of Medea. So who am I to say, if I don't like that or not? But that's just my entitled opinion. What I don't understand is when I watched movies made by white people or broadcasted by white people, the editing, the film, it looks so, I don't know if it's because we're so used to seeing that. Now when we look at Tyler Perry shows and movies, it just doesn't look believable. And then some of the camera angles and editing it just looks so plain Jane. It doesn't look good. Something differentiates it from my normal TV that I've watched or the normal shows and movies that I watch. Whenever I watch a Tyler Perry show or movie, I can distinctly tell before the even characters come on from the actual like the I don't know if it's the effects they're using on the film or whatever it is, it, the background or whatever it is, it just doesn't look good. But when you watch movies made by other people, you're like, oh wow, yeah, why doesn't Tyler Perry's show look like that? Well, I don't think I understand what I'm saying. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is I don't like the way it's edited. I don't really like the characters, the actors, and the storyline is good. A lot of the storylines he makes are good. They're spicy. They have a lot of details. It's fucking good. But I'm just not sold on the movie aspects he does. The shows, I'm not sold on the characters who play it. I'm just not sold. All right. I only like acrimony, the confessions of a therapist or whatever that was. And I think it was you know what? He had like 4. Um for color people, I think that shit was, or something like that. Where Michael Ealy threw the girls out the window. I don't understand why no one remembers that part when he does that. Like girls sweat over Michael Ealy and his green eyes, but forget the fact that he threw like 2 little kids out the window. Like y'all don't remember that shit, man. Listen. Anyway, yeah, that movie was called For Colored Girls, Acrimony, Confessions of a Therapist, and then what else? Um, I said Acrimony, Colored Girls, Confessions of a Therapist. There's like one more in there that was good as well. You know what I mean? He's got a few, but the shows suck. The characters on the show suck. They're not believable. I don't buy it sometimes, and that's just my entitled opinion. I think Tyler Perry is one of the greatest people we're ever gonna see in our lives. You know what I mean? Phenomenal man, great ideas, but I just think wherever he's working at or the TV production behind it just sucks. I don't know what effects he's using, but it doesn't look good. It doesn't really look too good. And again, I'm not sold on some of the actors. I'm not sold on it. But that's just my untitled opinion. My untitled opinion. Tyler Perry's blowing up, man. I wish him the best. It's just some of them shits I don't buy. 50 Cent shows and stuff that he does, I buy those shit. You know what I mean? And I'm a highly, I'm very let me get this back. I'm a big fan of 50 Cent. Way before he started doing movies and shows. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a big fan. Once he started going on to those platforms and doing that, it just broadened my eyes to see the shit that he can actually do. And I was always like, yo, if he can do it, I can do it too within due time. You know what I mean? But to go back to what I'm saying, 50 Cent's shows and movies are fucking great. Power is by far one of the best shows on this fucking planet. All right, and I'm talking about Power Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit was a phenomenal show. You can watch it all the time, back and forth, repetitive. It's great. That's just my entitled opinion. You know what I mean? The other ones are good as well. The Tariq one and the Tommy story. Those are all great. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shows on TV that are great or good. It's just that some of these Tyler Perry shows, I just don't. I'm not so convinced. You know, that's just my entitled opinion. My untitled opinion. I don't understand. You meet a lot of people in your life, and people always have stories. And I always tell people, I'm not one to care, or I do care for the stories, your story, like your background and where you come from. But I always know that there is some faults in every human story because you're telling it from an angle just you. You're telling it from your angle, which is cool. But I want the story from the angle that everybody else can see it from. You know what I mean? That's just what I see. With that being said, with that being said, you know, I just had a brain fart. But whatever. Let's continue on with the untitled opinions, man. What did I say? That Tyler Perry was okay. Shows is good. A lot of other good shows out there. I haven't watched the new Game of Thrones. I've watched the old ones. That was a great show. You know, there's a lot of shows I don't watch because they're too real. And I just don't watch. Like a lot of the hospital shows I don't watch. I'm not saying that they're bad shows. They're probably good shows. I don't watch them. That's just my opinion. Um, a lot of things go on through the day. What I was gonna say, or I was gonna mention, I'm gonna try to see if I can remember what I was gonna mention. Another thing I want to bring up is, yeah, I was saying, your story is your story, but I'm pretty sure you're lying about your story, which is whatever, bro. But you ain't got a lie to me. You know what I mean? You ain't got a lie to me. I'm pretty sure you're a great human being, but other people think otherwise. Same with me. Same with anybody. You know, I go with that saying that sometimes when you meet people, you don't have to really indulge into their life so much. It can be meeting people and just to have a conversation. you know you don't need to meet people all the time for you to bring their baggage with them. you know it's okay to meet people, give people a new idea, a new breath of fresh air, or maybe even help people. And it's okay for them not to take your aid. You know what I'm saying? That's okay in the same sense. It's okay. It should be no negativity towards it. It should be all good. If they want your help, they want it. If they don't, it's okay. It's okay. You know. Try to see if I get through some more untitled opinions I had during or throughout my whole week. Let's see here. See how long we've been on here. Let's see how long we've been on here. Only been almost about 20 minutes. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. How do you know if if your friends are being good friends? You know, my untitled opinions, I believe a lot of friends try to be good friends, but in the same sense, they can't be good friends because you're, you know, you're free to do whatever you want. A true friend would possibly tell you they don't like something, and then in return, you shame them, or you tell them that, or you guys get into an argument, and that breaks up the bond or whatever you have. But in my untitled opinion, I believe it's hard to be a true friend. You know, it's hard to be a true friend because a lot of people don't understand being real or realistic, or understand being honest. You know, and then again, sometimes with being honest, there's faults at that because I could be honest about something, but it can be my own honest opinion. It may not be an honest fact. Okay, and as friendships evolve, a lot of times a lot of friends don't want these honest opinions. They want honest facts, but you can't give them an honest fact because the fact that they're looking for is too broad to be given to them just with a a yes, you know what I mean, or just with a correct answer. There's more to it, or more the explanation to give them in order to provide them the answer. If that makes any sense. If that makes any sense, you know, what are we doing today in the times, man? The weeks are going by fast. Months are going by fast. We were just in June, now we're in July, now we're about to be in August. What are we gonna do? As you can see, the Obamas just endorsed Kamala. You know, what happens to all the money that these people give you when they're endorsing you and you don't win? Like, you kindly return it back to them? Like, yeah, I didn't win, man. Let me go ahead and give you your money back. Does that happen? I don't know what really happens. I was just asking my untitled opinion. Here was my untitled opinion. Now that I'm getting back to it. Now that I remember. People meet people and give you these stories about their life as if, you're looking to come up, or if their lifestyle defies your relationship or your friendship. I've met a lot of people in my lifetime, right? I've met a lot of people in my lifetime who gave me backstories or gave me their timeline and their lives as if it defined why I was being your friend. You know, I became a lot of people's friends because of a situational thing. You know what I mean? A situation came, we met there, and the way you handled the situation and went about it, I became your friend. I saw something in you that was honest, you had integrity, and you know, every human is has faults in them, but I believe in you, so I became your friend. A lot of times when I become these people friends, because they had previous friendships that were detailed on what they could do or what they could provide with for that person. They're like, yeah, back then before I met you, I was, a hustler. I had 5 cars. I was doing this, flying to UK, Europe. I was in Miami all the time. Yo, I was always in DR. I get all these stories, and then when I finally meet these people and I meet them and then we're friends for years, I don't never see that shit. And then even worse, they turn around and ask me for money. You know, I've had some friends I've known some people we've been down to our nothing, and they had something and I still provided. I've known people we were down to our nothing, had nothing, and I still provided. They couldn't provide. You know what I mean? But because they were my friends, it didn't matter. Like I said before, because you're my friend, what you can provide to me does not matter. I'm going to try to provide for us. You know what I mean? I don't want you to provide anything for me. I need you to provide something for us to you. You know what I'm saying? And I also don't put that aspect of that train of thought on people because it's not right for me to put what I believe people should do and they should do. Like, you should live freely and live however you want to live. You see how I move and you wanna, you know, um, go about it that way, cool, live your life, whatever. You know what I mean? But in the same sense, I always say people have these crazy stories to tell you, and then you meet them, and then you're friends with them, and these motherfuckers be broke. You know, one thing that irritates me is men asking other men for money, knowing that they used to talk about how they had money. You know what I mean? I don't I don't knock you asking men for money. I don't knock it. You need help, man. Go ahead and put your pride aside and ask. But what I don't like, I do not tolerate is when people are trying to give you the way. They've been giving you information, trying to feed you the information, but your bias just believes you know better. And I meet a lot of people like that. I meet a lot of people, a lot of humans believe that the people before them, you know, didn't know shit. Now that they're born, they're going to be the ones to be different from thousands and millions of people before them. It's just ridiculous to believe. Like, people before you have done the same shit you've done, tested time, and it's failed. What makes you believe you're going to be any different? That's my problem, and that's the problem I have with a lot of humans, and a lot of men think like that. Men and women. I'm not even gonna trip. A lot of men and women believe they can do something different that thousands of people have done before them and failed, failed tragically. They're just like, nope, nope, they're not me, and it's stupid. That complex idea is just, what do you mean they're not you? No, it's a proven idea that this work doesn't work. It's a waste of work. Okay, it doesn't really work out the way you want it to do it. People have tested time. It's test and prove. All right, it's tested and approved that it doesn't work. So don't go out there and try to be the different one. I meet a lot of these people. They're like, oh yeah, I always give people information that I receive because I believe you need that information as well. Any technology or any advancement I receive, I give that information back to my people with hopes that they can go out and do something with it. But a lot of people are naive, and they have these biases because they're like, well, you know, I, I was out there doing it before. When I get back out there, I'm gonna do it again. And that's not the case. I've served time in prison before, and in prison, I used to tell people like, man, when you get out, it's gonna be fucking different. And I was telling that to people who was in there for 10, 15, 20 years. I was telling them that with hopes that I can help them, you know what I mean? Because I saw exactly what the system was doing to us inside of it. You know what I mean? I saw exactly what the system was doing to us, and then upon release, I saw exactly what the system wanted from us. Okay? When you get arrested, when you go to jail, that's a different thing. When you go like to federal prison, penitentiary, and all that shit, a lot of times you go to federal prison and you come out, they tell you the jobs that you can get are mediocre. You know what I mean? Are low paying jobs. It's like you dealt your card, and now America seems to want nothing to do with you. It doesn't trust you. It can't do anything. And even though you served your time and you come out rehabilitated, the world and the government does not believe you are rehabilitated. Okay? The jobs they believe your rehabilitated ass can do is not even the post office. It's Dunkin' Donuts, Staples, dumbass shit like that, customer service, UPS jobs where you're using a lot of labor and not using your mind. Because a lot of people believe once you've gone to prison, your mind is wasted. It's done for. There's nothing your mind can do for the public and the community that's outside, that's advancing while you're inside not advancing. Okay. So when I was inside, I would tell people like, yo, man, you can't be in here for 10 years, 15, 20 years, and you don't know how to use the fucking computer. You know what I mean? We're all hustlers. I get it. But at some point in your life, you need to advance your hustle. All right. I'm not trying to tell you to learn how to hold your hands on the keyboard so you can know how to type, but know how to type a little more quicker than just one keystroke with one finger. You know what I mean? Go out there and know how to use the computer instead of always asking people how to use it. You know what I mean? And that was my thing in jail. I used to be like, man, a lot of dudes in prison were like asking me to do stuff for them on the computer, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like you guys don't know how to do this. I was hanging around guys who were multimillionaires, who were kingpins, street lords, who were the plugs. And once we got inside this penitentiary, this prison, behind these walls, they were just as human as me, but didn't know how to grasp the ideas of electronics, the internet, and things like that were going to happen. They would read books, sure, and I would always tell them, reading books is cool, fine, fundamental, read up. But if you don't teach yourself how to prepare for the future and these advancements, these books are just books you fucking read and didn't do shit for you. Great, you know how to fucking read, but you don't know how to use the computer. You're back 10 years now. You know what I mean? On top of the 10 years you possibly wasted in prison. This is why I always told people, listen, man, you know, wherever you go after prison, man, is wherever you go. But what you want to do is you want to stay ahead of the time, you know? Don't leave prison with the intent that, wow, I'm finally free and I'm just gonna live free, man, because the government took all my time. You made a decision, and that decision or that choice came back to bite you in the ass, and you and the government made that decision at the end of the day. So you did your time, but you did your time like a gangster. You know what I mean? You did your time like a gangster, and that's what matters. The fact that you did time like a gangster and you out there, but what doesn't sit well is that you're not trying to advance, or you're scared of what these computers can help you do. You know, I know people that got deported, and once they got deported, and I always tell people, man, I would never. You're not gonna deport me. The fuck? You can't. I don't understand the fact that you believe you can imprison me, jail me for all these years, hold me captive in your country, and then when you're done with holding me captive, you're gonna deport me back to my country. Fuck that. I might as well stay here. You fucking held me captive. What do I know back in my country? I don't know shit. Possibly all my people are even gone. You know what I mean? The fuck is going on here? Getting a lot of calls when I'm on this live. All right. Yeah. These dudes get deported. They go back to their countries, and they're dirt poor. A lot of dudes be lying in prison, believing that or have you believing when they come out of prison they gonna be sitting on the million. And I'm no naive person, because trust and believe, if you were coming out of jail to sit on a million, while you were in jail, you would have been fed good. And I was in jail with a lot of dudes that weren't being fed good. They had to be with certain people, certain groups in order to be fed good. You know, and if they were being fed good, that's good. They were being fed good. They owned stores, and then they probably came home lit. But most of these dudes I know who call me and shit, they need a handout. I've never needed a handout when I came home. You know what I mean? Yeah, I only did a year, but I was looking at dudes like, fuck that. That year felt like a lifetime for me. You know? I don't need a handout. I failed myself and went to that system. And when I come out, I guarantee you I'm not going back, and I'm not gonna fail myself. I I denounce, or you know what I mean, I cannot be in the back. I can't be late to the shit. I gotta be ahead. And I always preach that to my friends and people I know. I'm like, yo, we gotta be ahead, man. You know, use your fucking brain. You know, they have that quote. You know, you can bring a horse to the water, but you can't. Or whatever, however that fucking quote. You can bring a man to fish, but you can't teach him how to fish. You know what I'm saying? I can send you the money, but what the fuck is that gonna do? But continue to keep asking me for money, and that only makes me look as more of a lower man. Because why are you older than me asking me for money? I thought you was the man. You know, I thought you was the man. You had the streets held down, and everybody knew your name. And that's one of my untitled opinions. I hate when men go out there like, yeah, niggas know me outside. That shit don't get you paid, and I could care less if other men know you outside or they know your name. The fuck do I care? You think I care that other men know your name outside, or that your name ring bells? You're fucking possibly broke, or they're possibly going to rob and kill you soon. You know what I mean? Don't tell me that shit. Don't tell me people know your name in the street and you out here broke. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that shit. I always believe if you a hustler, you a hustler at heart, and you can never stop making money, regardless of what comes to you and happens to you. You a hustler. You know how to hustle. You can make it happen. A lot of these dudes were put in position to hustle, so they hustled. But once that hustle was gone and all that shit was taken away from them, they don't know how to hustle anymore. They only know how to survive. And I believe they were never hustlers. Once I was taught how to hustle, I then became a natural hustler. I wanted to hustle. I wanted to feed my mind with more shit so I can find a way to hustle. And in the same breath, I saw shit that people didn't. And again, I said, if you can do it, I can fucking do it too. I may not do it better, or I may do it better than you, but if you can do it, I can do it too. You are no fucking different from me or anybody else on this fucking planet. So if you can do it, I definitely can do it too. He can build a semiconductor. If I can watch him do it, I can do it too. Once taught, I don't need to be taught again. I can do it too. And that's how I learned how to hustle. I saw my man's hustling and he was making money. And I was like, man, I need to know how to do that. Like, how do you do it? And they taught me, the streets taught me. And from there, I never turned my back on hustling because I was always a hustler. You know what I mean? I could hustle whatever. Give it to me and I'll hustle it. I'll find a way to get it off. You know what I mean? A lot of these people can't hustle everything. They can only hustle certain things. I don't make you a hustler. That's you just a seller. You know how to sell and buy, or you know how to sit on it and wait for someone to buy it. I'm a hustler. I know how to get this off. I don't want to be with none of it. I got it all off. You know what I mean? It's my entitled opinion. My entitled opinion. I believe a lot of men they lose themselves. You know, don't be calling other men for money or calling other men to see what they can do for you. You a grown ass man. Go out there and make a difference. Go out there and do some shit, just like everybody else is trying to do. Like I've never in my life, like even when I wanted to call people for a handout, I felt disgusted about it. All right. I felt disgusted about even trying or attempting to call a person for a handout or calling a person to let me borrow something. I felt disgusted with myself. Like this disgusting, bro. That's just my entitled opinion. You know, my untitled opinion. You know, I have a lot of untitled opinions. You know what I believe? I believe a lot of men. This is just off topic. A lot of men get girls pregnant just cause. All right, and it be on some spiteful, hateful, shit. I say this because my entitled opinion. A lot of guys see that, another guy likes a girl and he could potentially have her, but because this girl has an inkling or even has a little bit of liking of him, he's going to manipulate the woman so much that she believes that it's only him. You know what I mean? That it's only fucking him, you know? And when he does that, he manipulates the woman, which is horrible. He manipulates the woman, gets her on his side, and then he changes. And then, you know what I mean? She's no longer possibly seeing the same man. And then they break up and he's not doing what he should do. I believe if you get a woman pregnant, you know, and you've had the conversation where both sides cannot be together, but you guys want to be parents still, you should, you know what I mean? You should do all it is in your power to make sure her and them kids is okay. I mean, I'm not one for child support. Fuck child support. But yo, them kids, I didn't tell you to have them kids. And I ain't tell you to fucking lay up with that girl. Sure didn't. All right. But if you did, you should make sure that you got enough money to feed them and her in case she in a predicament where she cannot hold it down. And I understand that a lot of times that's not your problem, but that's your mother of your child, so it is. You know what I mean? I've been in a lot of situations where I gotta hold the end or pick up the slack because maybe in the co-parenting world, everything isn't we're not always matching or it's not always equal. You know what I mean? You're making more money and then she's paying more bills. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the situation is, I make sure that I buy my daughter the shit she needs. I take my daughter out and do whatever she can, and I give the mother the money, extra money on top of that. You know what I mean? So when it all boils down to it, I make it where in my eyes, she's only really paying, you know, just so my kid could stay wherever she is. I give her enough money monthly that should cover the cost of my child's living expenses. Okay. Because in my situation, my child is not the only person that lives with her mother. Okay. And other situations is different. But in my untitled opinion, I know I'm giving just enough for my child's living expenses. Because on the other side, I make sure my child's expenses are already there. I do all the clothes shopping for her ahead of time. The only thing that the other parent is really buying would be like panties and bra because that's the mother side. I make sure my daughter has the sneakers, the clothes to go to school, the backpack, whatever she necessarily needs for her essentials, you know what I mean? For her daily life to go to school, laptops, iPads, all these entertainment things. I make sure it's there and paid for. Phone paid for. That's paid for by me. You know what I mean? Everything, all the necessities, the entertainment and shit for my child are paid by me. You know what I mean? I do it because that's my child. Whatever me and the mother had going on, in my entire opinion, is what we had going on. You know what I mean? I still want to make sure my child is always good. I'm not going to be dishing her out, thousands of dollars so she can be sitting home and doing nothing because that's not the route that it is anymore. If you wanted to be sitting down doing nothing, then we would have been together. You know what I mean? You can be at home or stay at home mom. You know what I mean? But if we're no longer together, or you're no longer with the other parent, being a stay at home isn't really, an idea anymore. Whether it's part time or full time, you got to now pick up the slack. I'm not talking about pick up all the slack, but the parents have to come together to either now do this 50-50 or 60-40, whatever it is, 60-50, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Someone has to do more than the other because just because someone's holding the child. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. If you're holding my child hostage and shit, because a lot of times the mothers are not going to give you your kid, you know. And if you do get your kid, man, God bless. I I congratulate. I literally congratulate any person, any father out there that ended up getting the child and has full custody. I congratulate you, and I congratulate you if you're out there and you're doing your job and you're working hard and you're providing and you're trying to make sure this kid goes through life safe. You know what I mean? Congratulations, man. I applaud you. I dead ass applaud you because you don't see that a lot. A lot of these women are keeping that, and the system will let the mothers keep the child. You know. With that being said, again, if the mother keeps the child, cool. I'll make sure they're they're getting enough to get by where they're not eating hamburger fucking helper, or they're not eating scraps, or I'm saying begging for food. I make sure my child is good enough. You know what I mean? I'm not rich, so why would my child be rich? My child is going through life good on what I can provide my child because I can provide her the same shit I can provide myself. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I can get from my child, I make sure my child can get too. And that's everything. Down from the jewelry to the sneakers. I make sure she can get it too. You know what I mean? Because as a parent, that's just my job. On the flip side of things, a lot of men don't do that because they're either spiteful or they can't. They're giving you two, three kids. In the same sense, I'm like, after the first kid, you should have known. I don't understand why women sleep with a lot of these guys and let them have kids with them, knowing that a lot of these guys are piece of shit. Like you could have known after the first. And another thing, if you had 3 kids with this guy, don't go around saying now he's a piece of shit. Girl, you're a piece of shit too. Why you have 3 kids with this fuck? Like after 3 kids, now you know he's a piece of shit. He don't want to do it. Man, y'all are both fucking home wreckers. Is what you both are. You and him are a home wrecker. Okay, you may be a nice person, sure, but you have 3 kids with the same father, and you left him. Girl, there's something wrong with you. There's an honest issue wrong with you and that fucking man. Okay? I don't care if you don't want to believe it. Thank God you got kids. God bless you got kids. But you should have fucking stopped at the first one. Okay? Because 3 kids, even 2 kids with the same baby daddies, I'm like, come on, what are you doing? 2 kids with the same guy, you might as well stay with him. You might as well work your best to stay and keep this guy because the community and the society doesn't see why you made those choices to keep 2 kids with this fuck that you're then turning your back on. If you could turn your back on the kid's father of your 2 kids' father, the same father, well, you could turn your back on anybody out here. You could turn your fucking back on anybody. Unless that man was out there beating your ass. And even if he was beating your ass, why did you stay? Why did you have a baby with him? Like I know a lot of girls I went to school with and they had kids with a lot of dickhead guys. Like that dude was a dickhead in high school. Or that dude was a lame in high school. And it's horrible to say he was a lame, but a kid was a lame in high school. He may have been like cool playing basketball and football, but outside of them doors, that kid was a fucking lame. I went to school with a lot of lame ass kids who thought for some reason, they were popular or they were it or they were cool. And as we got older, you got to see that they weren't cool at all. They weren't good looking either. A lot of these dudes grew up to look like fucking bums. Okay? A lot of these dudes grew up to look like fucking bums. Some of them look like apes and gorillas. Some of them look like fucking bums. Not to discredit what they grew up and did for, their community, their education, all that. I'm not discrediting that. A lot of dudes I went to school with, you know, came out and did a lot of stuff for the community. They went to school, they got their education, and they're doing good, but they're still dirtbag people. All right. I don't give a fuck how much you do for the community to justify in return how much of a dirtbag or a lame you are. Because they're all lame people. And some people get caught up in that cycle with lame guys because he's hanging around with cool guys. Or he's hanging around with a group of friends. And they could all be lame friends too. I didn't seen a lot of dudes click up, be a group of people, and they were all lame. They grew up lame. If you ask where they are now, they look washed up. You know how some people say black don't crack? A lot of these dudes black crack. You know what I'm saying? They look washed up. And again, I'm not discrediting what they've done to the community, done for their family or their education. But on the scene, I'm like, man, if you ask a lot of people I went to school with, you know what I mean? I was fake that kind of dude in school, you know what I mean? I used to drive a Benz in high school. You know what I mean? I used to drive a Benz to high school. I used to be like Clark Kent in high school. You know what I'm saying? Drive a Benz to high school and then go chill with the thugs. You know what I'm saying? Clark Kent in school, and then when I get out, I'm Superman or I'm super hood. I'm a super thug. You know what I mean? That's how I saw it. Cause I grew and that's only because I grew up with a lot of people that were just like that. You know what I mean? Spent a lot of time in places, so I got with a lot of people. But anyways, a lot of these dudes grew up trash, man. They were horrible, horrible people. And I wasn't a person that was one of those popular kids where you couldn't hang out with me because you was a nerd. Yo, I was one of those people that I was cool with everybody in school. And I didn't even sit at the popular table. I sat at a nerd table because one of the dudes I had class with or that I came up with, he was this cool white dude. And this white dude actually used to listen to Biggie. And that was a good friend of mine in school. And I used to sit with him. I used to be like, fuck chilling with the black guys, the Dominicans, the ballers, the football. Fuck those guys, man. I'm gonna sit here because you know what I'm saying, you're my guy, man. You're cool as shit. I don't necessarily want to be around them and then, you know what I mean? We've always done that. There were times, yeah, I would leave the table and then go say what's up to other people and shit like that. But once I did that, I was leaving the cafeteria. I wasn't coming back to sit down. You know what I mean? That was my guy. We were cool and shit. As time grew up and we grew on, I believe he moved from that school, and I started playing basketball, and I started to be more active with the outside people that didn't go to my school. You know what I mean? But anyways, that was a bunch of my untitled opinions, and just a lot of the talk. But yeah, a lot of these dudes, they thought they were lit in school, got out of high school, and they weren't lit anymore. They were not lit anymore. They were AAU or D or they played varsity in high school. As soon as varsity high school was done, I only know about one or two dudes that actually played college at a prestige college basketball school. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these bums were in my way. That's how I saw it. A lot of these dudes were in my way. A lot of people hated growing up. I hate on me growing up. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Again, I was really nice. A lot of people didn't like that, the fact that I was nice and I wanted to hang around with everybody. They saw it as, and that's a human trait. They see it as, if you're my friend, you should only be my friend. You should only click up with us. You shouldn't be clicking up with everybody. But I was like, nah, that shouldn't be the case. You know what I mean? I saw how people treated me before, so I didn't want to treat people like that. I wanted to treat everybody as equal. You know what I mean? With that being said, anyways, my entitled opinion, a lot of y'all women are making horrible choices with the men you choose, and then doing, and then creating even more of a bad timeline for future shit because you don't want to get over whatever it is. I see it as, it's my entitled opinion. After 2 or 3 kids with the man, go ahead and wash it up. Find the best way that y'all can get into this fucking mutual understanding so it can be mutual for your sanity and for the kids. Because outside it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good that you kept the man for 3 babies and then left him. Like why? How bad did he beat your ass that you had to give him not just one, not two, but 3 kids? And how bad of a torture life that he gave you and had you so scared that you had to give him 3 kids? I've met women that stay with guys and they're like, I was so scared to leave him, left him, and didn't have another kid with anybody else. And that guy is not torturing them, looking for them. Guy has other girls and he's living his best life. But I've met women like that. Like, oh, I stayed with him because I was so scared to leave. He would tell me he'd fucking kill me. And then they grew up and he didn't fucking kill her. She left. Or he left. He probably went to prison and came home and just didn't fuck with her anymore. You know? I don't know why that should happen, but Jesus, come on, man. I don't see giving a woman, you know, my seed if she feels as though this isn't the place for her to be. You know, stupid ass men do stupid shit. Knock this chick up. Now you going through some court issues. Stupid ass. Fuck that. You know, I used to tempt, my kids. My like, go ahead, take me to court. Like, I'm pretty sure the court would see that I'm giving you too much fucking money. Like, the court would see I'm doing too much. Court would see that, man, I'm helping you live above your means. You know what I'm saying? That was my entitled video. Just my entitled opinion. Yeah, let's see how far we into this shit. All right, 52 minutes. All right, so let's kick into this Who Asked You portion of this segment. This segment of Who Asked You is brought to you by Zara's. Zara's. Go to your local Zara's and get your fit. You want to be fleed up, fresh, and dipped. Go to Zara's and get your slip. All right. Nice pricey items. It's not too pricey in there. I mean, you can go in there looking like you shopped in the Louis and Gucci and shit like that. You can go in the Zara's, get 1 or 2 pieces, and throw a Gucci jacket on. Throw the Louis jacket on. Or throw the Louis bucket on. Or the Louis slides on. You can go in the Zara's with the fits, the pieces, and come out and put another piece to it. It can work, people. It can. So go down to your local Zara's. I sent you there. And no, I don't got no coupon discount for y'all. I wish I had a coupon discount. The fuck? Also, these segments are brought to you by the Shade Room, World Star Hip Hop, ESPN, Daily Motion, and Wired. All right, so let's kick it off. Let's see. All right, Tory Lanez has social media going off with reaction to his newly released prison tapes. Now I heard this. I heard that on prison tape. My entitled opinion was I still sound a little heartbroken. Still sound a little heartbroken. Like you're going through some shit there, but it was good. It was good. I believe that they let a lot of people make music inside of these prisons. Due to money, and if they don't, a lot of these artists already had that shit pre-recorded, and they just chopping, editing in different parts and putting it in there. You know what I mean? And nowadays with the way the internet is, we could literally have the internet, take out all the effects from that phone and then put it and make it sound like a studio. All right, continuing on. It was alright. Like I said, it was alright. Shout outs to Tory, man. Free Tory when he gets free. You know what I mean? Like I said, you do the crime, you do the time. All right. Fox News panelist, he said, what? Faces backlash after allegedly calling Zeta Phi Beta a colored sorority. Okay, let's look up what Zeta Phi Beta is. Zeta Phi Beta. Ah, wait. It says here it's historically African American color, African American sorority. So what did he say that was wrong? Faces backlash after allegedly calling them colored. Oh, oh. Is it because he said colored instead of African American? I mean, who asked him to say colored? You know who asked him to say colored? The same people who changed black into, you know, person of color. The same people who turned calling us, African American and black people who was like, there are people of color, person of color. You know who you should really have a backlash is as the abbreviation people. Because I'm pretty sure in all the time of black people, we did not ask to be abbreviated into POC. You know, we're not being written into a script. You know, we're not being put into an HTML or a JavaScript then to be told we're POCs. You know what I'm saying? Fucking human beings. I can get it, but I don't get it. But who asked you? Who asked you to say color? What he should just said was Zeta Phi Beta, a sorority, and should have left it at that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Moving on, clearing it up. Ice Spike speaks on her relationship with Nicki Minaj and her speculated issue with Lotto. Who asked you? I'm pretty sure a magazine did. I'm pretty sure a lot of the magazine journalists don't know what to ask, or they probably go into Instagram and y'all, oh not y'all, Google, and they like, what do people really want to know? But people really don't want to know that. No one really wants to know the relationship with you with Nikki. No one really wants to know the speculated issue with you and Lotto. No one really wants to know. They should have asked her some more shit. Like, who asked you to ask her this shit? Like, ask her why does she believe her twerking is ideal? Why not ask her what's the darkest you've gotten? You know what I mean? Like, do you stay that bright all the time? You know, why not ask her, what's your inspiration behind writing some of these lyrics? And why is that your inspiration? You know what I mean? And how did that inspiration hit you? That's a lot of the question they should be asking. Like, who gives a fuck about her issues with fucking, Nikki and Lotto? Like, who asked you about that? A spicy dispute. Former Pepsi company janitor sues company after alleging he invented flaming hot Cheetos. Mm. Ah, that could be who asked you though, you know? That's the problem with people. That's the problem. Who asked you if you made the flaming hot fucking Cheetos? Because at the end of the day, that company made the bag and made the fucking Cheetos. You didn't make them hot and then go out there and start serving your own flaming hot Cheetos. Nah, you didn't. You probably made your own hot flaming hot Cheetos in the bag and was like, "Look what I did, yo! Yo, y'all should try this. This is the new wave." And then boom, just like smart people do, they looked at it and was like, "I can go and make that my own chips too, bro." And I'm pretty sure they're gonna win because they probably like you didn't fucking license anything. Anyways, that's why I said who asked you. But we're moving on. On is it B Simone or B Simone? Whatever, man. B Simone responds after Soldier Boy attacks the comedian for commenting on music. I mean, I've talked about Soldier Boy before in a previous podcast, and I was like, it seems as though he's using a tactic to try to stay relevant. or stay in the media or in the public. A lot of times, a lot of these celebrities, what happens is when you've never been in the spotlight before, you get the spotlight and the spotlight is taken away from you. A lot of them do not know how to handle that. And a lot of people are running away from the spotlight that have the spotlight. All right. Let me be clear on what I'm saying. A lot of people are running away from the spotlight because they see what the spotlight does, but they have to stay in it. So they stay in it. But once the spotlight is done, they're happy. But a lot of these people, once the spotlight is taken away from them or diminishes, they're not happy. Like they feed off of that that high they get from the spotlight. It's a shame, but that's just my entitled opinion. But who asked me, right? Who asked Soldier Boy to even like to say anything? I'm pretty sure B Simone didn't say anything that was crazy. I think I heard it, and I was like, it wasn't that bad. I think she might have said, but she never puts on the Soldier Boy song. Given her age, you got to think about that. Which if she's like 30 or 29, then yeah, why would she be putting on a Soldier Boy song? You know what I mean? If she's like 35, 36, 37, I'm pretty sure she has put on a Soldier Boy song. Because at one point, you know, the South had a chick locked with crank that, and watch me in the white tees and all that shit. So you was definitely that was definitely in your. It wasn't like a song that needed to be played, but it was definitely something that you listened to. You know what I mean? Because they all were doing the same shit. I mean, at one point, he even had to dance and shit. And if you were like a fake dancer back then, you were doing that shit. You were definitely doing that. You were definitely doing it. But that being said, a lot of people want to have it. He just wants to be back in the spotlight, and it's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with you want to be back in the spotlight. I ain't got no problem with that. Be in the spotlight if you want to, but you got to understand what comes with that. These motherfuckers are animals out here, you know. But who asked you? Who asked Soldier Boy that to even comment? He should have just left it alone and be like, "Word, they talking about me." Let me drop some new music or some shit. But no, he didn't take that advantage to do something else. He attacked. Pretty V speaks out after receiving backlash for saying, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, the Soldier Boy." Now, I mentioned this before. All right. I mentioned this before. Women seem to never fail to bring God into places he did not ask you to bring him, or Jesus at that. A lot of times people do this, even if it's not a female or a woman doing this. A lot of people bring Jesus and God into places he did not ask you to be brought into, even though he may walk with you every day, everywhere you are, but he didn't ask to be brought into that situation. You don't bring him into the other situation, don't bring him just into that. All right. If you're going to be like, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," you better make sure you're rebuking these taxes in the name of Jesus. You need to be rebuking, that officer that shot Massey, that bullshit. You need to be rebuking a lot of the shit that goes on in this world, but I don't see you rebuking it. So please be who asked you? Who asked you to even say that? And it might be something you say on the regular, but sis, I'm pretty sure you knew that she said that and you was like, I should have never had said that. Well, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure she probably doesn't care. You know what I mean? She making money. Who gives a fuck? Do we have a problem? The North American Aerospace Defense Command intercepts Russian and Chinese bombers flying near Alaska. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's some wild shit. Wild shit. What they gonna do? Corey LeRae provokes controversy with comment on the current skinny trend. It's just been skinny before you, Corey. When I was growing up, girls used to put their fucking finger in their fucking throat. Sorry, I'm using that. I'm dropping F bombs. Girls used to put their fingers in their throat to make themselves earl just to keep away. All right, so they've been skinnier before you, Coy. Don't feed into it. Okay. Pharrell Williams advocates for the return of arts competition at Olympics 2028. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Cause there be a lot of if you ever watch the Olympics, there's a lot of stuff they doing in that Olympics that I'm like, I never even knew you can that was part of or that was a sport, you know? But when you don't know, you know. All right, see what World Star got to offer us here, man. World Star. Let's see what World Star's got for us. All right, game over. I saw this. Mexican drug lord Ishmael El Mayo Zambada arrested in the U.S. Yeah, I heard they caught him and El Chapo's son at like in like Texas or some shit like that. Crazy. Dude and his boy got jumped after a heated altercation in West Hollywood. Damn, who actually had a heated altercation? And who asked this Mexican drug lord to even come next to the US? Stupid ass. Now they got your ass. Now they got you and El Chapo. Damn. America working hard. And it's you know what's crazy? He came in or he was doing whatever he was doing at the wrong time. It's election season. He should have waited for all this shit to die down. But then they'll be like, yo, let me go to Texas or something like that. Because during election season, all this shit times, certain politicians are trying their best to get the best fucking dealers or the best bust out there so they can broadcast to show you that they're out there doing the work. You know what I mean? My entitled opinion. She's crazy. Ohio woman rams police cars in attempt to escape arrest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now you see, who asked you to ram into these police cars and attempt to escape arrest? And who asked you not to shoot and kill her like you've done before? Mm, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I mean, she's ramming into the cars and trying to escape arrest. What happened to all the, you know, bow, 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 bow? No, they're not gonna. No, they wouldn't shoot her car up. Interesting. Trina McGee, who I don't know, from Boy Meets World. Okay, I don't know who that is. Says Little Wayne shows signs of someone being touched and how she didn't like the Savage Brothers. Who? Who asked you to ask who's Trina McGee? Let's go see, man. Who asked this chick, man? Where did she come from? Trina McGee. This chick from yo, son, you were like the worst act. You was the worst person on Boy Meets World. Get her the fuck out of here, man. Who's asking you these questions? Why are you oh, Boy Meets World. Why are you wasting time asking certain people these questions? Like, who asked you to ask her that? Fucking waste money. Life flashed before his eyes. Dude, oh, oh shit. I guess I could. Dude gets instant karma for touching another man's girl as a prank. Yeah, who asked you to do that? Who asked you to be out there pranking with knowing damn well that there's some people out there and they mind ain't right? Who asked you to do all that? Like at some point in your life, you gotta sit there before you even do a prank and be like, well, who's asking me to do this? Like, and who's asking for this guy not to kill me? You know what I mean? And no one should be killed, you know what I mean, for doing a prank, but some people will take it to that extent that they'll hurt you. All right, you gotta listen. Dude had to break down Eminem's lyrics for this guy who didn't understand it. Okay. Well, who asked you to break it down for him? If he didn't understand it, let him continue on not understanding. Okay, lyrics can go over people's heads. All right, that just lets us know the music you listen to. You know, if the bars are going over your head, why am I trying to get you to know it? You possibly don't even like these bars, so move on. What in the world? That dude is dead, and this is his funeral. Look like he dead in the box. And some type of I see a little Corvette on the sign on the side. That looks terrible. Who actually do that? Who actually even post that? I think the fact that we even gave people camera phones is even worse. It's getting worse and worse by the day. The fact that we gave people a phone that can record camera and picture was the worst idea ever. It was a good idea, but a bad idea in return. Because now these people are just gonna record everything. Every fucking thing. That's crazy. That's different. Family of Atlanta man have his favorite Young Jeezy song played at his funeral. I guess. Damn, Drake gets booed at a Limp Bizkit concert at the Budweiser stage venue in Toronto. Who asked you to boo Drake? And who asked you to put Drake on during Limp Bizkit? Are you talking about Limp? First of all, if any adults were there that listen to Limp Bizkit, they more than likely don't listen to Drake. All right. I'm pretty sure whoever was at this concert, they were only possibly 15 to they're only possibly like a 30% Drake fan in there. You know what I mean? Like, why would you who asked for that? Elon Musk's transgender daughter, didn't even know he had that. Well, who asked you to let me know? Puts him on blast for lying after Musk said his son was dead thanks to you or thanks to the woke mind virus. Yeah, who asked for that? Who asked for you to give me that information or put it out there? Who asked for any of that? All right. Saw that Corday and Lil Wayne got a new little song. Gotta listen to that. Street food chef found a great way to get customers by showing titties. Who actually do that? Come on, Seth. Oh hell no. Dude went to the cool kicks to sell his shoes, but roaches started coming out of them. What? Like who asked you to do that? Roaches started coming out of them? Normally, and this is my entire opinion. Normally, if you know something, I'm from the hood. If you know something's got roaches in it, or if you, a lot of that shit smells. And the motherfucker can spray Febreze all he want on this shit. A lot of that shit smells, and it has these marks or these doodle stains. It has shit on it that it lets me know that it came from a dirty place. So I probably wouldn't have known about that, but that's my entire opinion. Engineer went crazy. Yeah, we went over this. I was talking about that in my, you know what I mean? I don't know who asked him to come out with 2 songs while he's in jail, but hey, free Tory. Crazy way to go. Man gets stomped to death by a bull during a bull riding event in Tocta, Mexico. Like, who asked you to do that? Damn, who asked you to get mauled or get fucking stomped to death by a bull? Must have said something to him. Must have said some bullshit. That was funny. Okay, I don't play gay games. Charleston White goes off on Japanese porn star on a Big Brother type of reality show. Yeah, I don't play no gay games. I mean, why y'all got Charleston White up there? This is what they do to a lot of people who stand on business and have certain ideals and views. They bait you and they try to get you to do things outside of the norm that you were doing and outside of what you stand on. You know what I mean? This is what they bait people to do, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he doesn't really stand on shit." And they're paying motherfuckers to catch you slipping. Who actually do that to the brother Charleston White, man? I fucks with Charleston White too, man. Who asked for this? And Japanese porn star? What fucking type of Japanese porn are you doing? Who asked for that? Hmm? See how much time we got left in here. Yeah, I'll do 2 more and then we'll call it a day. I couldn't get to ESPN, Daily Motion, and The Wired, so we'll try another segment where we get into those first before we do the Shade Room and the World Star. You know what I mean? Going at it, group of chicks get into a brawl inside of a grocery store. Who asked you to do all that? Huh? Who asked you to do all that? Mm. Anyway, insane story. Man poured his deceased daughter's ashes into a toilet, then threw the urn at his wife. Wow, who asked you to do that? Why the toilet? Damn, that's where your daughter belongs? Damn, bro. Sucks. Horrors of war. Russian wounded by FPV terminated by his fellow fleeing soldier. in Ukraine. Damn, who asked you to fucking kill him? He was like, yo, go ahead and just kill you right here, man. Sorry. Students were laughing at them for selling water on the streets of Atlanta, and then this happened. Then they needed water. That's crazy. Ice Spice pulled up to Kai Sanat's U-Haul truck. She pressed him after she thought Kai was about to do something. Mm, right. Nah, he's cooked. Child predator came to meet a 14-year-old boy and tried touching him. Did y'all kill him? Arrest him? Did you take him in? Who asked you to do all that and you ain't take him in? And try touching him and y'all ain't violate him? Hmm? Wild Chinese female anchor was hit by a vehicle while broadcasting live in the middle of a road. Suffered a hemorrhage. That's all you got was a hemorrhage? Girl, who asked you to be in the middle of the fucking street? Like, how far in the street were you? Like, did that shit jump on the side of the road and hit you? Damn, who asked you to be broadcasting? Picked the wrong day to be doing that. Sheen, Sheen, Sheen. Two dudes were rejected by every woman in a line at a Pop the Balloon show. One man roasted all of them. Who asked you to even go to that Pop the Balloon show? And who asked you to roast all of them after they denied you? Why do you have to do that? Who asked you to if a man or a woman denies you, just push on. Just keep it pushing. You're just not their type. You could be a million other people's types, man. It's okay. But anyways, man. Looking like a half-done meatloaf, popular transgender TikToker Netta and Tia Kim roasting each other on TikTok live. Tia came for Charles too. All right, who asked for that? Who asked for any of that? Who asked for any of them to go on live to do that? He's definitely heard. Dude watches his girlfriend rehearse intimate scene on stage with another man. I mean, wow, you hurt. If she do that shit for a living, what could you heard about? You should be happy you in there spending her money. And that she can come home and rehearse them intimate moves on you. Maybe you need to, rehearse whatever that dude is doing and try that shit. All right. Okay, my people. I thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. I thank you for stopping by. If you do stop by, I thank you for listening. You know what I mean? Like I always say, it's us, never them. You do tune in, thank goodness. You know what I mean? Take a little while to listen in. It doesn't take too long for it to pick up. It's good. It gets hot and steamy sometimes. You know what I mean? I appreciate you do. If you do come in, I appreciate if you don't. Tag me in it. Tag your friends to come through and see, visit through. Yo, man, we're having a good topic sometimes. We have a lot of good discussion. It is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and change or cut my screen. Stop sharing that. I'm gonna try to make sure I end the stream good. All right. Y'all have a good day, good afternoon, have a good evening. I hope y'all eat up. I hope y'all have a good sleep. I hope y'all wake up tomorrow blessed. Stay safe. If you're not gonna stay safe, stay dangerous. All right. Thank you for tuning in. It's your boy Ray Cruz, and be safe out there, y'all. Now I'm gonna end the stream. Let's see, make sure I end it right. Right, Will. Peace.